Yeah, welcome. This is basically the Gamer Smith back again with a little bit more Trove. Of course, I just mentioned back in Need for Speed that this game is very unstable currently. It actually crashes more than I actually will expect it to be. So, I'm trying to work around when it crashes and stuff and try to play other games while I'm actually trying to stay away from the event because the event is causing a lot of issues right now, and that is a great huge problem for me right now. Like when it comes to the overall aspect, I do like stream. I do the stream for about 20 minutes and stops, and then I do another stream for 40 minutes and stops, and then I might get 2 hours stops. It's just like doing Morse code with the game itself, and it's actually absolutely annoying because of that reason. I try to work around everything right now and try to see exactly what's going on with troveness. And of course, trying to actually figure out what's causing it to crash so much. Well, every single time he has an event or something like that or an overlay, it causes the game to crash out. It is what we face itself, and it's all what all of our gamers face when you do play Trove. Now, I'm used to Trove crashing out a little bit, but not this much. It seems like every event it just gets worse and worse. If you don't get the crash, you get the lag, and if you don't get the lag, you get some other type of problem. Now, like I said, Trove is fun to play and stuff like that and whatnot, but it's what it is. But it's just crazy, dude. It's just crazy. But I love, like I said, I love to play in Trove. I like to play in, like, say, Minecraft. I like playing all that. But I do have, like I said, a YouTube channel and stuff like that based off this game as well. So, I do, like I said, play survival games a lot. Like I said, I do play racing games once in a while. Like I said, just racing games are just generic, kind of, and it's not much information you can get off it. You just build cars, whatever KCP, and it's not much to them itself. So that's why I like playing these because there's much more to the games, and so on and so forth. And it's a lot more fun to a point. But now, if the game is actually running correctly, or even partially correctly, to that point. And I don't like cutting my stream short because of the way Trove works, or basically the way the software is actually acting up. If you would basically watching my streams, see, all my streams are naturally non-edited. So anything that you see there, if it's crashing or if it's basically glitching out or basically whatever, it's just the way this game works. And seems like the Trove is basically one of the most crashes games when it comes to the events. What I say when the event is over, yes, I could play it for an hour, and at least I'll still get an hour out of it. But right now, I'm not even getting that. I'm getting like 20 minutes at most, at times. And like I said, it's so randomized, and the crashing is so randomized, it's unbelievable. So it's what we all face when we actually do play Trove and whatnot. I'm not sure if this any other game is actually as bad as that when it comes to crashing and stuff like that. But it's what it is. Like I said, I still enjoy playing this game, and I don't mind actually helping you guys with the information in that too either. Like I said, this is what I do. This is how I run my channel. That basically, if you get any questions or anything like that, or basically even comments or anything like that, or just chat, here to be chatting away or whatever the case may be, you're more than welcome to basically just stay and do what you want to do in that direction. Right now, I'm basically trying to get more gem dust and stuff, so on and so forth, to try to make stuff work right for me, so I can get my Solarian up within the next week, and working on that character so I can actually have a decent, good Delve character, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Anyway, regardless of that, I've got someone tried to leech off me using a Neon Ninja. Okay, he's got speed, but he's got no damage. And that is the big problem with the Neo Ninja, especially if you don't stat it right. You basically end up just chasing after people. Yeah, I just got to laugh at this guy's name. It sounds like he's basically arsing around because his name is Ursus. Not artistic or anything like that. It's just Ursus. Yeah, it's just funny. Anyway, regardless of that, I just got to laugh at some players' names in here. It's kind of funny, and dealing with that. Um, yeah. But anyway, I'm trying to get 200 gem boxes down currently, and trying to get that working right for me, and trying to do that. No, see, that guy is just going to be following me. Why in the heck? No, I got to do something here, and it's going to be not being rude. Go to my channel if you want to follow. You want to follow. If you want to follow me, and this is not, if you want to follow me, go to my channel. A-M-E-R, Gamer Smith 14 on Twitch. Yep. And that's the polite way of actually doing it that way. But he's just still going to try to stay behind me. And I don't get this. I don't get this. This is what I was talking about. People just following you and not doing anything. I'm not going to be doing anything because all he's going to be doing is leeching. But you'll see. Like, I mean, I'll go down the map. He's go down the map. He's going to be wasting more time than I actually going to be doing. He's going to be wasting more time than me. And like I said, if I pull up my Neo Ninja, my Neo Ninja's way built more than him currently. And that's not going to be good either because he's not going to be able to keep up with my character. Which is a good thing to a point. But I can also do it this way. Class select. I'm just going to have some fun with this guy. I just want to have some fun with him. Woo! All right. Let's see how fast he actually is. Woo. Yum. Bunny. He's going to try to keep up. All right. He's going to keep on trying to follow me. I don't get it. See, this is what I hate. This is what I hate in the game. It's redundantly stupid. And you get a lot of these guys doing this. They waste more time doing nothing. Like I don't mind me doing nothing because of the fact I've got my stats already done, but he don't. Like this is what I was saying. Like basically, people just waste their time. And I'm going to see how long it's going to chase because this is ridiculous. Like, I mean, he just wants me to go along and finish a dungeon because he's not doing enough damage. He never learned how to play the game. Like I said, I gave him my my channel so he can actually follow. And he basically learned how to play the game and learn how to play the game right so he can go along and start doing some regular grinding. But he's too basically too idiot for it. It's just, I'm sorry to use that word idiot because that's such a strong word. It's like hate is a strong word too. But I mean, that's all he's doing is doing nothing. It's just like, why in the heck is this kid doing nothing? I could do this all night, but I'd want to be doing this all night. I don't get it. And he's not even on my friends list. This is what I don't get. See, he's not even on my friends list. He's just, I don't know. Get off of me, kid. I don't get it. Jeez. I don't mind, like I said, people following me and stuff like that. But I mean, I'd rather for them to follow me on Twitch or YouTube so they can actually learn how to play the game instead of basically doing this. This is redundant. How redundant are you? This is what I'm trying to figure out. This is what I was saying. When I was actually started playing this game back when, This is exactly what people used to do. Used to start chasing me. So I don't know. I don't know how stupid this person is, but he's doing what he's doing. But this is actually comical because I'm just, yeah. Boy, it is like I said. It's just I don't know. I don't know where some of these people, go away, kid. He's not annoying me. It's just he's not wasting my time here. Crap. Uh, hey, how are you doing, Snoop? And welcome back. I'm trying to help this kid out, but for him not to leech off me. But all he's doing is just chasing and chasing and chasing. It's a fun video when it comes to this, and this is how players do not want to play. Do you want all the work done for them? I'm not basically a bot. This is what I was saying before. It's just like they come in, drop in, and wait for the box to be just there. And plus, I can one shot everything. So, it's just like that doesn't matter. But this person doesn't know how to play the game at all. And it's just the biggest problem with this game. Like, I mean, you do have players, but this is not a player. This is redundant. This is like I said. This is why I was saying before. Why like I said, created the Twitch and YouTube, so I can actually start teaching people how to play this instead of doing this stuff. You know, and like I said, I'm not getting frustrated over it. It's just redundant. Like, I mean, I don't know how many hours is he going to spend just chasing? I'm just going to ask him. I just got to ask him. Uh, you going to waste? Going to waste. How many hours are you going to waste? I don't get this. This is what I was saying before when I'm actually like try to get my videos and stuff done and stuff. This is the stuff that used to happen when I was actually starting this game. This is exactly what used to happen. And it's not to say I got no problem. I don't even know this guy. He's just being like, it's like he hit his head off the table and all his brain is just starting to ooze out. This is exactly the type of thing I'm seeing right now. Like I said, he just don't have the he just wants everything done for him. Ah, uh, uh, I was gonna say, don't go to my channel, kid, and as being a bot, so as a bot, and because he's just wanting everything done for him, and it's just like annoying. I don't get this. And plus, yeah. I'm just gonna say, by the way, yeah, you see what I like. Yeah, yeah. This is funny. This makes this game entertaining sometimes. But like I said, I'm already maxed it. I said I don't care. I've got most of my grind done for the day. But I'm just flying around, just wasting his time because he's not trying to fix nothing with his character, and he's not doing anything. It's just basically I don't know. I don't get it. He finally broke off. Oh, that was fun. That was fun for a minute. You get them like that. Like, I mean, as I said before, you got people that's that lazy. They don't want to play the game. I don't even know why they install the game at the beginning, and that's not me being rude or anything like that. But they install the game just to do that. And it's just like, I mean, you're in Uber 11. You're at endgame. If your stats and everything is all messed up and everything else, it's like, why? You know? I can understand why, but what I'm saying is if you're doing a transition stage from Uber 10 to 11, yes, it's a little bit of a stat difference and stuff like that. And as I said before, I'd rather help somebody that's in my party or something like that. Same thing I did with you, Snoop. I just basically helped you with your gems and stuff like that. At least this open communication, but not this dumb stuff. It's just a waste. And you waste more time doing that. Like, I mean, I don't. It just shows you, like I said, the mentality of some people on here. This is what annoys me. This is what irks me to a point. But like I said, I never get upset by it. I just trying to figure out why. Because you spend more time just flying around and doing all that stuff and doing absolutely nothing. Being counterproductive. And if you're counterproductive in this game, it's just like, it's just pointless to even try to even play it because it's just not worth it. And like, I mean, I used to have like about at least 15 players doing the same thing back when I was in 8th spot at the Shadowhunter. Because I was the most powerful Shadowhunter back a good few years back. And I'm still probably one of the most powerful Shadowhunters. I don't know what other people's stats or people running or whatever the case may be. But it's just crazy. Now I'm going to see what rank I'm at right now. I'm at 11th right now, so it's not much difference between where I was 2 and where I was at before. And now I've finally got 11th spot because I've got the permatorch. And I even told a person before, right? It's a lot of work to get up there. But if I get the dragons and stuff like that, I'll be competing against first place. Only for I think it's like 10 or 11 points of PR that I'll be short on because I don't have a Gondad, I don't have certain things. But I'm not crying about that because, like I said, it's one of those things. But the only thing is, like, I mean, I know where I'm standing to and where I'm at and working on what I need to work on. And that's why I said, when it comes to being one of the top ranks, like in the top 20, you just get those people. And if you're in the top 1 or the top 5, I would not want to be the top 1 at the very first player. I would not be in the top 5 because it'll be even worse again. It's like, oh. Like I said, it's not people that are asking for help. It's just redundant stuff that people do for absolutely no reason at all. Like I said, yeah. But now you can understand why I digress on certain things in this game. Like I said, you can see why I digress in certain things in this game, just because of that reason. And like I said, you got people that's just basically wasting their time. That's their time. That's gone. But like I said, I don't mind taking a little bit of time away from the grind just to get rid of these people. Because if you're not there to be being productive, I want to see how productive you are. I don't mind, like I said, if you're in the same room as me and be able to do it that way and be able to benefit yourself in more ways than one. Like I said, you don't really benefit me because where I'm 2. But like, I mean, do something. Just don't mess around. Like, I mean, this is what I was saying before, but like I said, in a couple of my videos, people just do that. Now, I don't get the reason why. Like, I mean, they'll go along and they'll sit on top of a roof to be like, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to sit down and I'll wait for you to do the dungeon. And like, da-da-da-da-da-da. and then basically do that. And they do that a lot with 5-star dungeons, and I do not know why they do that. And then you get those followers, literally followers. And that's why I said I'd rather have followers in my channel, because they'll actually learn how to play these type of games, because there is going to be a lot of other versions of these type of games in the future. I'm sure of it, because it's been around since the 90s. Like I said, the games never changed much. The graphics changed, or the storyline might have changed, but the gameplay is pretty much the same. But anyway, regardless of that, it's just more to do with, like I said, those people that it seems like they fell off the turnip truck too many times. And I'm not calling people stupid because of what they do, but they're basically not being productive. It's just like they're missing something, and that's what I try to fill the void with. I try to fill the void as much as I can, and try to fill their head with information. I don't want to be going along, and like I said, that's why I said you got YouTubers that's giving bad information or poor information. You got YouTubers that's giving the right information and doing whatever. You got to remember, I've been gaming since the Atari 2600. I'm basically an OG. But as I said before, I'm not that old myself. But it's what it is. And working with people and trying to help people out is what I try to do. My best work. So, like I said, but having something to happen like that is just, it's like it's the why factor. Why should it be? But, and if I only could answer that, it'd be great, because, I don't know. Like I said, that's why I said when it comes to it, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because they waste so much time. This is why you've got the people that progress in this game, or any type of game that's like this. You got fast progressors, you got slow progressors, then you got dead people. I mean, dead people is they play the game a little bit, but they don't progress. They'll go along and do this the same thing as that other kid was doing. I do absolutely nothing in the game. And they'll do that for hours. They'll stand into basically the hub. They'll ask for items. They'll be like, do you have any items? Now, not items for sale, but they'll be like, hey, man, you got a free mount? Do you got this? Do you got that? And I'm out there grinding away, and I'm watching all this chat. It's like, oh. Okay. They're asking for mounts that you can get it from adventure boxes and stuff like that. I know they want us to jump in mastery. They don't want to do nothing. They want to be another site plays. I will see him as a reference because everybody knew who he is and stuff like that. But everybody wants to try to be a site plays. Everybody wants to have everything done for them. They don't want to do stuff themselves. And that is the biggest problem with that. And that's what I got to deal with. That's why I try to avoid. I try to avoid these people like a plague. Now, like I told you before, when I was helping you and self and other people, what I do is just say, okay, stay in the same room. Just basically, you're doing damage, I'm doing damage, we're doing it faster. You're not sitting around doing nothing, basically, and hoping and praying that we'll actually get somewhere. It's like me going along and sitting on top of a dungeon, you sitting under the top of a dungeon and waiting for a third person to show up for someone else to do the dungeon. Okay. That is very, very slow. As I told you before, if you're going to be leeching, and people actually can watch, people don't realize, hey, there is a map in this game. Oh my God, there's a map. And it's funny because you can just pull up the map, watch people going around and whatever. Same thing with, like I said, some people cross paths with me with doing a dungeon. I might basically end up doing the same dungeon as them, or just enter the same dungeon. And I'll basically, after just getting into the bottom of the dungeon, I will leave that dungeon. I will leave that dungeon just for them. I'm not wasting my time to doing that, but I can go to another dungeon. In some cases, I'm getting more stuff done than most people into that point. So think of it this way. I'm trying to be productive as much as I can, but like I told you, I don't mind helping people either. I'm not being one of those YouTubers or other people saying, oh, I'm just going to be bitching and complaining about this. Oh, this is wrong. No. I'm just saying is there is a point of actually doing something the right way and the wrong way. Like I said, and this game is so easy, it's not even funny. So you're basically beating yourself to death for what? Like, I mean, you're doing absolutely nothing. So you're making the game a lot harder on yourself just by doing absolutely nothing because you're wasting your time. And if, like, I mean, even if you are in there to do the competition or just trying to be a pain in the that's okay. That's okay. Like, I mean, you choose the way you play. That's why I don't tell people how to play, just because of that reason. And that's why, like I said, I do my channel the way I do, just because of these reasons. And yes, it's fun to watch sometimes. Like I said, you get those random people like on the map. They'll keep on doing what they do, but they don't do anything. And like I said, if I'm going to help somebody, like I said, that's why I do private sessions and stuff like that, or single sections, because it makes it a lot easier and a lot easier for the communication. Because if I've got a bunch of people in my chat, one person will try to overtalk the other, and it'll be just horrible. And that's exactly what I look at. I try to take the horrible out so people can actually understand what I'm talking about, so they can actually keep going. Like, I mean, eventually I might go back to Diablo 3, and I'll basically start doing videos on that. And I'll show you how similar Diablo 3 is to this game. Even statting-wise, like, I mean, it's pretty much it's the same. Like, I mean, the only thing is with Diablo 3, it shows that when you actually use an elemental or elemental weapon, it goes along and shows you the stat for the elemental. But unlike Trove, it doesn't show you the stat for that. And that's the only difference between the two games. Like I said, but it's not a building game, so it does, like, it had the Minecraft feel. And that's exactly the way I look at it, because of where you can actually pick up blocks and rebuild it somewhere else or whatever the case may be. And that's exactly what I look at it. Basically, it's a Diablo 3 clone with Minecraft mixed in with it. Because you got to remember, Diablo 3 is still really strong out there for players and stuff. Even on PC, it's really good. And Minecraft is one of the top selling, if it's not the top selling game. So why not make a clone of that? And that's exactly what they done with Trove. And that's one thing, like I said, I like about it, because it reminds me of Diablo 3. I don't care about the friggin' Minecraft part of it, but because of the grind and so on and so forth, because it's almost the same aspect and the same grind. Okay, the only thing is, okay, for Trove, everybody knows Ganda is the rarest thing in the game, right? Okay, fine. You know, in Diablo 3, the Roderick hamburger, which has almost no stats, is the rarest thing in Diablo 3. To pick up, to get, whatever the case may be. It's such a rare drop chance, it's not even funny. It's like getting a Ganda. I think getting a Ganda is actually easier to get. But on the other hand, the concept of the game is exactly the same. It was never changed. Like, I mean, you got to think about Diablo. The Diablo game started back, I think it was like in the very beginning of 2000s. So you're getting about almost 25, almost 26 years from the first Diablo. If I can be corrected on that, though, because don't have Google in front of me right now, but even though I got my computer, but I don't want to be searching up. But the thing is, the very first Diablo is very old. It's one of the oldest titles out there, but it's still being played on PC. Like, I mean, it's still a hot ticket. Now, they might have, like, the player base and everything dropped off over the years and stuff like that, but it's still pretty high up there. And this is exactly why people do, game developers make knockoff of these games, because of their popularity. If you can make a game that can actually be able to keep up with the old school games and still bring players together, and even, well, think of it this way. The only thing the difference between Diablo and this game itself, this one is more money orientated. Diablo is not. You basically buy the software, you get like the Necromancer and stuff. That's just a little DLC that you pick up for about $20. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to play the game, and it's actually free to play. But as you noticed, There's no charge for services, no nothing. If you ever played the game, there's no charge for services or server time. And just because of how many players, think of it this way: if you got one of the hottest tickets on the move, and you say you sold it for to say $50 a pop, you take $50 and you're sitting down there making $500,000 to $1 million in the first run. You're not going to worry about like server charges and stuff. You're not going to worry about that because you're making that much more money. And that's exactly what they done with that game. And that's why I like these type of games, because I know what's behind them and what it's going to cost me and what it's going to cost me to play. And that's just it. Like, I mean, statting wise and stuff like that are pretty much the same. Like, I mean, instead of dealing with gear, like you've got like the Marauder set and stuff like that, you got these gems. And these gems will give you a stat. Basically, you got your character stat sheet and so on and so forth. But they're almost identically the same as Diablo 3. This is why I tell people, if you're going to be playing these type of games, Diablo 3 is a little bit more complicated to a point because of the fact that it's a little bit more technical. Because of when you actually get a set of gear, you got to know what gems and everything to use. And yes, it still has gems. It still has like different things, like power-up gems and stuff like that in it, but it's done a little bit differently. But if you use the wrong gem and use the wrong set, then your character will become weaker. And that's the only downfall or the only difference between the two games. But the two games plays out almost exactly the same in over 20 years. That is exactly the clone he came up with, is Trove. And this is why I like Trove so much, because of that reason. Like, I mean, I could sit down and play Diablo forever, as long as it's a good mixture of people. Like Diablo 3 right now is full of mods and stuff on the console. That's the reason why I don't play it. But like I said, I aced that game, and that's why I can ace this game pretty decently too, because it's the same information that I used to play back when I first started really gaming. And that's before I started streaming. That's before I started doing anything. But it's a repeat process. It's just the graphics looks a little bit different, and that's just it. But the gameplay and stuff like that is pretty much the same. Like, I mean, I do have, like, I think on my YouTube channel, I do have one video of Diablo 3. And like I said, I could even basically send anybody screenshots to prove the point of what Diablo 3 versus this game, and what you'll see the difference. Like, I mean, the games are almost the same, and it's unbelievably how close they are together. The only thing is, it's like say Diablo is more of a goth game. Like, it deals with the angel of death. You got Michael, you've got like 80s, you got like the sins like gluttony and stuff like that. Trove doesn't deal with that. It deals with, okay, you've got the sun goddess, you've got the moon goddess fighting against each other to try to fight against the sky, because you'll never see each other in one instance or the other. They'll always miss each other, or basically one is starting to go down and the other one starts coming up. But they'll never be in the sky exactly at the same time, so they're always fighting against each other. And that's exactly what Trove is. It's that storyline that actually basically makes it different. And people don't realize that. It's just like, okay, but it's kind of gothic. It's kind of goth to a point. It's like, because just imagine if you didn't have the sun, you wouldn't have no heat. And if you didn't have the moon, you wouldn't have the gravity. You know, it's just the way it works. Like, I mean, yeah. So think of it this way, or you wouldn't have something to make it more balanced, because the sun and moon makes the world balanced, and at least you can live on it, or whatever the case may be. Because at least you need the heat, and you also need a break time for between the heat. If you just imagine if you constantly had sun, what would happen to the planet? It wouldn't survive. You'll have another Mercury on your hands. One side is very hot, and the other side is like solid. You can't live there because it's full of gas, and so on and so forth. So it's you just have another Mercury type of thing going. So yeah, like I said, it's what it is. Like I mean, you got to know about astrophysics to get that, but yeah, like I mean, the game itself makes sense, and it makes a lot of sense because it's what it is. Like I say, some people just don't get the storyline, and some people just don't get the meaning behind it. I really don't care about the storyline behind it, but that's exactly what it is. It's a competence against basically the sun and moon to try to fight for the sky. And once that's happening, you've got the Trovians or people that's supposed to make it balanced. All the Trovians are supposed to make the balance and fight all the evil in the world. That's why you got so many different creatures and stuff like that. And it makes the game quite more interesting because of the fact that when you actually look at that itself, you'll be able to use that and utilize that part of the storyline. And it's actually how the story works. And that's the whole entire analogy behind the game. Basically, you're basically the go-between of the two. Like, I mean, it's go-between the sun and moon to try to stop them from fighting and try to take the evil creatures and stuff like that that's making the world a bad place. Like, I mean, try to take the corruption away. But, of course, the corruption keeps on coming back in different forms, so you got to fight that much more corruption. So you got a full line of corruption on the go constantly with Trove itself, and people don't realize this game is a lot more gothic than goth than what you might realize because of the fact of what the story is and how the story plays out. Now, the story, as you grind and you open up all these zones, it's like opening up a parts of the world itself. Just think about it this way. You've got like ice, fire, elements. And those elements basically will give you a challenge in different ways and do it that way. So think about it this way. You've got, like I said, the storyline that goes along with it. Like, I mean, you got the sun and the moon competing against each other. It's like characters, or players that's trying to compete against being the top player. It's like, okay, I've got more master than you. I've got more, mods than you. I got more skins than you. I'm trying to be better than you. Look at me. That is the competition versus players. And that's exactly how that works. So there's always a competition versus a competition versus a competition. And yes, it's that much competition. Because one person could be high up different ranks, another person could be doing whatever. And it goes right along with the storyline too. Because think about it. You got conflict in the world. Like, I mean, you've got like Russia, US, Canada. You got all these basically, they'll see eye to eye to a point to stop world wars. But there is still wars that happens in the spots that are supposed to have peace. Same with a Trove. Like, I mean, if you look at like fire's always basically there. They basically cause havoc against water, and water's trying to go against earth. If it was an earth element to say, but to say I'm just taking the elements itself, like I said, that's known. Earth is still available, but it's not known as an element in the game. Because you got wind, fire, and water, and cosmic. But cosmic is not an element itself. It's just the cosmos is out in space. You got to remember that. So you got space where the sun and moon is actually incorporated. So you got the sun and moon fighting out in space while everybody else is basically milling around like the little tiny ants in the bottom, trying to fight for the right for basically survival and trying to build up characters as they go. And that's exactly the full storyline, and that's not a myth or a legend of that. It's just the way the storyline is produced and the way the storyline actually works. Because if you watch the very beginning of this game, like I said, it's very, very dark. It's a very dark game with a cartoonish skin. And like I said, as I told you before, it's like Diablo 3 and Minecraft combined. And why I say Minecraft? Because you can go around and mine blocks. That's the Minecraft version of it. But Diablo, Diablo 3, even Diablo 2 has some Diablo 3 elements, but not many, but it has some. But Diablo 3, as I said, Diablo games have been around for over 20 years. Basically, Minecraft is the top seller. So why not? Why not do it? And like I said, that's exactly how they became Trove, because of that reason. And it's quite interesting because of that reason. And like I said, I don't mind sharing this story and with you and what it actually means. Like, I mean, what it is. See, you got to remember, there is people out there that don't believe in gods. Like, I mean, they do believe in a god, but anything beyond a normal god, they don't believe into it. Or they don't believe, like I said, if they don't believe in certain things. Like, if you're playing, like I said, Diablo, you're playing with the devil, you're playing with all the stuff that was written from the Bible and stuff like that, and you're playing a really gothic game in that direction. But it has a gothic feel. Trove does not have the gothic feel, but it's still got a dark background. And people just don't realize you're playing a game that has more of a dark background than most games you ever play, because of that reason. And it's basically based on the true elements of basically how everything works. This is why I like basically about Trove, because of that reason. And people don't look at the game that way. Never, it'll probably never will, because of the fact that it's a block game. It's made for, like I said, it's made for kids. Actually, in most cases, a lot of kids don't know how to play it, and that's the biggest problem too. Like, I mean, they struggle with this game because they don't understand, like I said, the concept behind it. And they don't, like I said, it's like playing Minecraft. There's no difference. They'll go in and start wrecking a house and stuff like that because they don't understand. Minecraft is just, like I said, a builder game, whatever the case may be, and I'll bring this game into fruition too. But it's more to do with the mechanics of the game. Well, you still get to deal with the mechanics of even with this one, but like I said, you don't have to build in this one. But when it comes to the mechanics, you've got to build a lot of stuff in Minecraft to make it work. Like, I mean, I know how to do villager farms. I know how to do all that stuff. I know how to make everything automated without much problem. Like, I mean, when it comes to, like, say, getting the villagers, getting the emeralds, getting the unlimited amount of iron. When I actually make a world, I don't even have to farm for iron. I just don't bother with it. I just make anvils out of it. It's just like, ugh. You know, it's stuff that you know how to do. And if you learn how to do it in survival, you can actually do a lot more with the games too as well. Like, I mean, as I said before, I don't tell people how to play the game, but I try to help them as much to understand the game and understand the storyline behind it, because it's the facts that it's actually missing. It's missing from the game itself. Like, I mean, when it comes to playing the game and getting the board with the game, like I said, just take a break from it, you know, and that's how it works. If you don't know how to play the game, like I said, you can always, like I said, hit the follow button, and basically you look at my YouTube channel itself. If you like the content itself, like I said, you're never pressured to do so, but like I said, all the help of my channel is much appreciated, but also the information you will actually get in return is 10 times more than what you might think. And you basically will open up a new segment and open up a new way of playing different games. Because, like, I mean, I just don't go along and try to put BS in front of people. Like, I mean, I know exactly what each game is. I don't know the story behind it. I know the dark side of the story, and so on and so forth. What a lot of people miss is in the games. And, like, I mean, it's just crazy. And I love doing that. I love to basically doing that type of content, because a lot of people be like, oh, that's how you do it. So it's not just about building your characters and stuff like that, but it's how you play. If you don't want to play the game, just don't install it, because you're just missing the whole entire point of it. Because the thing is, it takes quite a bit of grind to do this game. Like, I mean, you can be grinding for 6 months to a year, and you might only finally get one character out. But if you've got multiple characters and stuff running, and you're expecting to basically do something with the game, look at what the game has actually done, or what it can do for you. Which one's the strongest characters? Ask the questions. Which one's the strongest characters? For what class? Because each one of the classes has a certain job. And each one of them, when I'm saying that, like a Neo Ninja, Shadow Hunter, Lunar Lancer, are made just for farming. Depends on the style of gameplay that you have. That's fine. But then you've got the tanks in the game. You've got like the Reverend, which is basically supposed to be a holy knight. Then you've got your knight, which you can use as a tank too, but he's not. You just basically he's not it's not a very strong tank, but you can make him into a tank if you decide to do. Then you've also got the Candy Bear, which is another tank type of character. So you got 3 tanks in the game that you can actually build, and so on and so forth. But depends on the playstyle that you want to do with that as well. And if you wanted to, you can make any character into DPS, but certain ones will actually do more than the others. Plus, certain ones are made for grinding because you got speed and also DPS throughout. Certain ones will actually not have those stats, like with the speed and stuff like that. So you'll actually be missing that point of having the buffs and stuff like that. So you'll actually be weaker because you're actually being slower. So you can actually put all the speed that you want in that character, and you might get 65 speed when you've got like 90 speed mounts and you got these other characters that can go 200 and 300 speed. So that's a great big huge difference and a great big huge jump. Like, I mean, right now, like I said, there's certain ones with attack speed, and it's made for attack speed. There's certain ones made for pure damage, like the Gunslinger, Ice Age, and the Solarian. They have slow movement speeds. They have slow movement speeds, but high damage. So basically what happens is you trade off your damage for your speed. So the higher the damage is, the slower your character will be. And knowing exactly what job to put with that and what gems to use with that makes a great big huge difference. And this is why I tell people, like I say, I don't tell people how to play the game. I just, like I said, I try to put a direction to the game. So when you go to play the game, they're not struggling. They're not like basically like that other guy earlier, basically chasing after me and doing absolutely nothing, which is kind of funny to watch, but it's kind of annoying at the same time because they're just wasting their time. If you are actually doing and wasting your time that much, that means you got other time to basically waste around in other games, which if you're good at it, go for it. But if, like I said, if you're not good at Trove or good at these type of games, learn how to play them. Like, I mean, take all the information, do the same thing I did for years. Like, I mean, I was watching the transference of different games. Like, I mean, this is not the very first game I ever played like this. Like, I mean, it's been 25 or 30 games I played like this, and there is, like, I played Dota for a while. I played all those type of games. So it's not my first run with an MMO. Like, I mean, MMOs are pretty much almost the same to a point. I played Silk Road. I played all these type of games. A lot of games, a lot of people don't even know it exists. Like, I mean, I go on the website on RPG. It's got over 3,000 plus games that you can play. Not saying you're going to have a lifetime to actually play them, but you can actually spend a lifetime playing MMOs. No joke. But all MMOs are pretty much the same when it comes to statting. There is a few graphics difference and a few tweaks that you can actually be able to do, but that's pretty much it. You don't gain a lot of, oh my god, this is a brand new system. Look at me, it's a brand new system, and you might say, oh my god, when you first start playing it, but when you get into so many years, it just gets redundant. It just gets repetitive in whatever the case may be. There's like, I mean, I can pick up so many games just like Trove. No joke. Like, I mean, that's why I've got my computer built, so I can actually probably show you guys some of these videos. I mean games, and be able to do it that way, because I would love to show you the website and stuff. Like I said, I do have a camera and stuff like that. I'm not a shy person, and I'll show you exactly how things look. You'll be like, oh my god, really? Sweetness. And I'll like to be able to do that in the future. But right now, like I said, it's just crazy. Right now, I'm on PlayStation 5. I do have the camera for the PlayStation. I will just let you know that. But the reason why I don't do it, because it's only a 720p camera. It looks horrible. And basically the lighting Oh boy, it's so light sensitive. It's just horrible. It's like, I mean, I got a 1080p a camera, a Logitech one that will blow that away like by 10 miles. And it's just crazy. And then plus it picks up all this stuff. Like, I mean, if you see me using my computer, in most cases I do have the camera turned off because sometimes it causes my screen or my stream to lag a little bit because I'm trying to stream both videos at the same time. So, like I said, that's the reason why I don't use it that much. I do have myself posted though somewhere. But anyway, regardless of that, like I said, it's just crazy. But it's a lot of fun. Like I said, I enjoy games so much. I enjoy people so much. It's not even funny. And that's exactly what I do. Like, I mean, I try to tell you the story that goes behind the game so you'll understand what the game actually is. And like I said, when it comes to even racing games and stuff like that, racing games are so easy to do. Like, I mean, the level, especially EA games. That's why I like driving simulators a lot more. Even driving simulators, you drive so much, you unlock cars, you get points, you get miles. Just like you do with Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo basically is a lot better game to a point than any of the other racing games I've ever played. There is some really good racing sims out there that I played before. Overall, and some of them are really, really extremely good. They'll actually put realism, but you can't use a controller under them. They don't work under that. They run under the steering wheel, basically graphite steering wheel, and basically the pedals, because the controls are so sensitive that you need these. Like, I mean, with a controller, it'd be way too sensitive. So you'll basically be a ping pong ball instead of a tube. That's what it'd pretty much be like trying to drive. So, like, I mean, beyond Gran Turismo, like, I mean, there is other racing sims that you can get. There is some racing sims actually so realistic, it will cost you a couple of $100 just for the software alone. And that's just crazy because I was thinking about even getting into the racing sims and stuff like that just to have something else. But, of course, I'm not a racer. I'm basically an RPG guy. Just because all the RPGs, I find it more interesting, a lot more playthrough. Because once you finish with a racer, you're just looking for the next racer. But RPGs can last for years. And I mean, like years. Time you actually look at all the secrets and stuff, it's like playing Final Fantasy VII. A lot of people still play it. I don't mean the remake. I do not mean the remake. I mean the original from the PlayStation 1. A lot of people still play that. And I will say this, for those people that play it, it's like crazy. Because I still play it on PlayStation 5. I do have a copy of it. And it's actually a real good game, too. But it's a classic game, and it's what it is. Like, RPGs is where it's my cup of tea, and always will be. And I've been playing this for so long, there's nothing new in them anymore. So that's why I hop into a racer. I mightn't be like the ace racer or whatever the case is. I'm not trying to be that. I'm trying to basically just to unlock a few cars, just to have a bit of fun with the game, and so on and so forth. Same thing with when I'm playing RPGs. But RPGs itself, or MMOs, like I said, it's just one of those things. See, I played Silk Road. I'll tell you just a little story about Silk Road. When I first started playing Silk Road, I was one of the weakest characters because I was basically started building up. Basically, one guy seen how I was playing. And now that doesn't mean I didn't know what to play. No, don't get me wrong. I started off with just basically not the right gear. My stats were right, but not with the right gear. Like, I mean, my gear wasn't strong enough to do anything, or whatever the case may be. So after a while, I went along and started working with different things. Now, I was working on my character, statting the character. I ended up basically making a mage character, kind of. But what I did with the character itself, I paid basically with the mage character, I put 3 points of health and everything else magic damage. And what happened is I was fighting against people with sword and shields exactly the same level as me, even though I didn't have the gear or the good enough gear or didn't have the great gear that, like say, some of these players had. But they could not beat my character because of the way I set it up. I set up the skills to be a complete destroyer in PvP. Like I said, I was never a real good PvP candidate, and I'm still isn't, because that's why I don't play PvP too often in Trove. I'd rather go along and play just the grind and stuff like that, but I don't mind playing PvP just to gain a coin or something like that at the beginning of every day. But I don't like the PvP. I don't like the competition in that direction. So what happens is this. I'll go along and basically play the other side of the game and basically enjoy it quite a bit. But see, with Silk Road, like I said, so I'm talking about a game probably a lot of you guys don't even know existed or does exist. The Silk Road itself, when I was actually playing it, I became a really good player in there. And I became, like I said, I used to basically, there's not too many players could actually beat my character. It was very few players could beat my character, just because of the way I've got my stuff set up. And I'm not just bragging about it or anything like that, but it's actually true. And like I said, it's just how you play the game and how you structure everything for what you're going to be doing it for. If you're doing it for PvP, you set it to PvP. If you do it for PvE, you do it for PvE. PvE is just basically pure damage to a point, but with a little bit of stability between your health and so on and so forth. And that's how that game worked. But a lot of people didn't realize that. Some of my gear was giving me more health because I was getting the health percentages and stuff like that. That a lot of people that was doing straight nuke couldn't even touch, because all they were worried about was the damage, but they weren't not worried about the survival. So that's exactly what happens. And to that point, some of those people were like, why can I not kill this guy? Why can I not beat this guy? And about 70, well, I was told back when, after the guy, one of the players I was with, because he ended up basically giving me some pets and stuff like that to work with, because I was a much younger person, and I couldn't afford that much. I still bought some credits and stuff like that inside the game, but I bought it for extra expansion to my storage and stuff. I never spent no money on gear and stuff like that. I was just hoping for the drops. Anyway, same thing I do with Trove to a point. I never spend much money in Trove. I just spent a little bit to support the developers and stuff. But besides that, like I said, with the saying that, it became very, very apparent that I was basically really my character because I wanted to play absolutely for free. So I done all the grinding up to level 53, and I told the guy, because he wanted to run a bot and stuff like that under it, and he wanted to finish the grind to 70. He turned around and said to this. He said, "You know the way you build your character, right?" I said, "Yeah, I know how to build how I build my character." You said, "You know, about 70% of the people are really pissed off with your character." I said, "Really?" I said, "Cool." I said, "Awesome." I said, "Why is that?" "Because you can't beat it." I said, "Oh. Okay." Well, I said, happy Silk Road. That was it. It's just how you play the game and what you put in for stats. Same thing with Trove. There's so many games out there. You got to know what you're doing and what's going to buff what, or what's going to do for you. If you do not understand that, that's why I've got tutorials and stuff like that, even in Trove. Basically, how to do the augmentations and stuff like that. And if you don't know how to do the augmentations, you don't know how to do Uber 11, forget about it. Because you're basically just running around with your head cut off like a chicken, and that's just it. That's the only thing that you're going to be doing. Or you're just going to be like that guy at the beginning of this video, just basically running after me, and it's just redundant doing that. If you are actually going to be wasting your time, it just looks funny. Absolutely funny. And like I said, I don't only get annoyed with it or anything like that. It's just like, I'll ask them, I said, if you want to follow me, just basically follow me on here. Like I said, if you don't want to follow me on here, you don't have to. Like I said, and when it comes to those type of followers, like I mean, if you're going to be chasing after me and try to get something from the game, it's better to come to my channel and get stuff from the game. At least you're learning something you can advance your skills onto. And that's exactly what I love doing. I like to advance people's skills as much as I can. Not basically horseplay around and waste everybody else's time, because I hate doing that. I hate doing that to people because I don't do that to people. Like, I mean, I don't get the point of basically doing it that way. Like, I turned around and mentioned to him on the chat, I was like, say hello to all my followers. And then he just left the map. So it basically, yeah. He kind of got the gist of it, that it's being recorded of what he's doing. It shows the world, or part of the world, what's going on, about what's going on with the things that can annoy people very easy, and how redundant some people are in this game. And it's not only this game. It's like playing Call of Duty, and you're playing zombies. All right, okay. You got this guy go along and sit right next to, they'll look for the best spot, just to sit there and let you do all the work, and they'll gain levels, or whatever the case may be. Now, like I said, they'll gain levels, whatever the case may be. But then when they die, all you dare hear them is screaming out, I can't survive, help me, I'm dead. And it's like, oh boy. Even like then the person right behind it said, hey, if you only moved, you might be able to do something, or be able to survive. Get this gun over here, it's against the wall. Yeah, I mean, it's just, oh my. I still don't get some of the people on here. It's just, I don't know. But it's funny. It's funny to watch. It's absolutely fun. And it could be any age. And it could be just anybody doing that. It's just like, yeah. But I find the older people, like I said, actually focus on games more so. But, like, I mean, if you don't want to focus on a game, like, why even have it installed? Why are you even try to play it? Because it's, you're just wasting your time. It's like Grand Theft Auto. Hey guy, would you be able to give me a money drop, please? I'm stuck with a little bit of money here. I can't go out and do heist because I don't know how to do them. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir. You don't know how to do them. Also, would you be able to give me some gear to see if you can get me some gear? I'm sorry, I can't trade that. Oh, can you give me some gear anyway? It just come off it. It's just duh. How much walls do you have to hit before it actually becomes stupid? You know? And I mean, walls is not, like I said, not concrete walls. I'm not talking about physical walls. But how many walls do you have to keep on hitting before you get, like, it just don't make no sense to me. Absolutely no sense. This is what I get at. Like, I mean, this is why I run my channel, so they can help you guys. So you could try to get rid of these problems. It's problems that can easily be avoided. It's problems that can easily be fixed. And it's problems everybody face. We're all gamers. We're all basically trying to do the same thing at the end of the day. But there is so much funny stuff that happens here. It's not even funny anymore. It just gets, if I'm focusing on a game, I do not want to be focusing on you. Like, I mean, to that point. Like I said, I'm focusing on, like, my chat. I'm focusing on my game. I'm focusing on different things. But I do not want to be focusing on what you're doing, because I'm ready for you to learn to do what you're doing so you could be more productive for your own self. And that's exactly the way I do it. Now, like I said, it's just, some of the stuff, like I said, some of the stuff is just that redundant, and I was trying to figure out why is so much redundancy in the gaming world. I don't know. But like I said, some of the redundancy is absolutely hilarious to watch. Because, like I said, as soon as I said basically my Twitch and stuff like that, and I said, hey, say hello to all my followers, and the guy just went boop right off the map. And basically at that point, I wasn't basically playing around in that direction. Like I said, I was trying to help him out. I was trying to help him point it to my YouTube channel. Not to say to get followers or anything like that, but basically to help him out. Because the thing is, if you do not understand how to play these games, there's going to be a lot of games like this in the future. So that means, like I said, as you progress into the games, you're going to be probably doing the same thing. Until you get bored with the games, then you're going to move on to something else, and you're going to get bored with that, and you're going to get bored with. You're going to get bored with bored. That's why you're going to be putting yourself in a full circle, and you're not going to do something. You're not going to do nothing for yourself. That's what's going to happen. And that's exactly what these games work. You got to do something for yourself. You learn how as much information as possible. That's why I've got Gamersmith as my YouTube channel. Basically, it's all to do with in my link itself, in the description itself. And I've also do daily Twitch streams. Sometimes I do 2 or 3 to fill in time zones. I do, like I said, almost every game. Like I said, right now I'm doing Trove. I've got loads of Trove videos to explain everything that's in this game. And like I said, it's just what it is. I had some great experiences with this game. And like I said, it's just crazy. And I do enjoy playing with others, but if you are going to waste your time, if you're going to be basically just falling around, if you basically look at probably about 20 minutes into this video, you're looking at someone that's basically chasing me around the map, doing absolutely nothing. And I mean absolutely nothing. And this is exactly what you get. The people just wait for you to do the dungeon for them. They don't do productive. They just do counterproductive so bad, it's not even funny. And if they're trying to be funny or trying to be annoying, I'm sorry, I don't get annoyed that easy. I'm just basically saying, hey, if you're going to follow me, to hit that follow button and basically, or just come to the channels, learn how to play the game and do that. But I'm not, like I said, I don't ask for follows itself. But if it helps to support you guys with these type of games, because there's going to be a lot of games. Like, I mean, these games started off way back in the 90s. It never changed. Like, the only thing is the graphics changed or some of the mechanics changed in the game. But the games are exactly the same. I could go back when I was playing Baldur's Gate. I was playing Quake. I was playing Doom. I was playing all these different types of games that has different mechanics and total different gameplay. And that's exactly what I can reference to. Like, when it comes to MMOs, they're pretty much all the same. Like, I mean, they might look different. They might have a different, like, say, cartoonic graphics. Some of them are actually like Diablo. It's got a more of a gothic feel to it and whatever the case may be. And like I said, all Trove is just another, basically, Diablo clone. But there's a lot of Diablo clones out there, too. And I mean, there's a bunch of them. But, of course, as I said in my video already, that, with saying that, this game is Diablo 3 mixed with, basically, Minecraft. The Minecraft, because you can actually craft in the club worlds or just build anything. And the grind is exactly the same thing as in Diablo 3. So if you play Diablo 3 or know anything about it, you'd be saying, oh my God, he's right. But if you never know the experience that I've experienced. Like, I mean, if you look at your character sheet and look at Diablo 3, the only thing that's missing in the Diablo 3 is your elemental stat. It doesn't say if you got ice, fire, whatever. It doesn't say that. Like Ice Age, it'll tell you what's in the name. Like, it's ice. Like, I mean, if you're doing, like, the Dracolite, that's fire, and so on and so forth. And you're also dealing with the different areas in the game itself. So you look at all that stuff in the game itself and what characters you play. It's all to do with the elements. Same thing with Diablo. Basically, but Diablo will actually tell you what you're using. But in this game, it doesn't. It doesn't say, oh, it's ice, or it's fire, or it's whatever, in your stats, but it will tell you the character, what you're using, and what it's incorporated. And that's a few little tweaks like that makes the game seem a little bit different. But on the other hand, the game is exactly the same to a point. Like you still got to worry about like the Legax gym. You've got to worry about like the Demon Hunters gym, like I said, and so on and so forth. And there is different gems that you could get in Diablo that will basically almost mimic. They will look different, but they do almost the same thing as what they do in Trove. Like it'll give you extra attack damage, or basically all to do with distance. One of them is actually close combat for, like, say, warriors. There's one out there for far away distance for archers, because an archer doesn't have no defense or not very much defense. So you want to get the maximum amount of damage when you've got distance, and so on and so forth. So you have to look at it this way. Trove is not much different than that. The only thing is with that, just it does have a different skin to it, and it does have a little bit more cartoonish. That's it. It still has a gothic side to the game. It still has the same kind of gameplay to a point. And like I said, those two games, like, I mean, okay, Minecraft is the top seller, or if not the top seller right now. You've got Diablo that's been going around for close to over 20 years. So what are you going to make? What clone are you going to make out of a game that's going to be popular? You're going to make it out of the two top games out there that's been lasting as long as they have, because a lot of people still play Diablo 3, but it's more on PC than it's on console. And you don't see a lot of people streaming it on console just because of that. But if you look at the PC players, it's gone crazy. Like, the only reason why people don't do it on console is just because of the reasons of this. Because you can use mods or modded gear. There's one guy actually done a stream on Diablo 3, and he showed it off their modded gear. They're actually trying to get rid of it by clicking on the button as quickly as possible just to get rid of it. So people just didn't notice the gear. But it was all modded gems. It's what people do on the console itself, and there's nothing Sony or anybody else can do about it. Yes, they could do something about it, but I mean, you know what I mean. It's just one of those things that they can't do indirectly. Because of what it is, it's like the Diablo on this, it's not monitored, not like it's on PC. If you are caught cheating on PC, you will get banned. Seriously. But on console, they can't ban you. What are you going to do, ban the whole entire account just to stop you from playing? No. So that's why. They can put micro bans on you for a certain amount of time, or they can put you an IP ban if you are a part of a different server. Like, I mean, you can ban you from Trove, since Trove is actually under a different server. They can IP ban you and just stop you from playing Trove. But when it comes to Diablo and stuff like that, they're pretty much almost the same, under the same IPs. So if they wanted to ban you, they can't. They cannot change that. They can't change the players and stuff like that that's on there. They can't clean it up. They can't do nothing about it. So they're stuck. And that's why a lot of people do play it on console, but they don't stream it because they are afraid that they do have a chance of getting banned like they do on PC. And that's the thing. Like, I mean, if you're going to cheat at games and stuff like that, of course you're not going to stream them, because you're just going to be, oh my God, it's going to happen. And then it's like, oh, that's why, you know. And that's exactly what happens, you know. Anyway, like I said, it's just funny. It's just funny. Like I said, I'm just going to basically end my stream right now because it's 3 o'clock in the morning my time. Like I said, hopefully y'all enjoyed. Like I said, if you enjoyed the video itself, like I said, you could backtrack and see all the information I just give out and whatnot, and all the fun stuff that happened in this video. And hopefully y'all enjoyed the stream, and hopefully, basically, if you did like the stream itself, you can always hit that follow button. I'm more than welcome to basically help you with the game itself, or any type of game that you see me streaming, and I'll be able to help you with some tips and tricks and stuff like that, and try to help you guys out as much as I can. This is what my YouTube channel is about. That's what my Twitch is about. Hopefully, guys, have fun, and hopefully be able to catch you on the next one. Peace out for now, guys, and good night.